it's when he swung it easy at three-quarter golf swings, and he pretty much hit his number all the time. Dude, but when he hit something full, he hit it 20 yards over the greens at times. He's like, what are you doing?
He's just smiley, happy, and a freakish athlete golf robot that's going to be right there winning majors for the next 10-plus years. It's amazing.
Did you say he was smiling or smiley?
Only on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Philadelphia 76ers, who are the second best team in this Eastern Conference by a mile when Joel Embiid is healthy. That's just what they are. So now, if Giannis isn't available, the Bucks would be dogs in the series.
He ain't sleeping on that air mattress anymore. He's got a regular king-size bed, a Posturepedic, what do they call it? A Sealy's, whatever they do, those things. He ready to roll. Dominating tonight.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
People that bashed him will be eating their words this year.
Pretty heavily favored to be a first-round pick, minus 400 earlier this week. But that's not the surprise.
If you're drafting J.J. McCarthy in the first half of the first round, you clearly believe not only is he a starter, he's going to be your starter for years to come. But
a popular bet was under 3.5 wide receivers in the first round.
The tape doesn't lie, baby.
Only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. A Monday night meltdown has begun, and so has the postseason, baby. Let's roll. NBA basketball, the Philadelphia 76ers and the New York Knicks in action right now at the Garden. Philadelphia going on a late run right now. They're taking a 4-point lead late in this game. The Knicks have been up, but never really pulled away. The Sixers have gone on an 18-6 run in the last 6 minutes of this game. There's a $109 left. It's 100-96 in this game. I actually like the Philadelphia 76ers plus the points, but I didn't pull the trigger on it. I did bet the over. What was it, 203.5, 204.5, whatever the hell it is? I mean, it's going to have to pick up. I need some points here. And the Knicks, to me, I'm looking at this right now, and I don't get it. Like, time is not your friend. Like, at this point, I just put the team on the damn line and get the ball back. I don't understand modern coaches that let the clock just tick away. I'd rather put a team on the free throw line and actually have time. Guys miss free throws a lot, and it stops the clock. You pop a three. You're trading 2-for-1s and stuff. You're saving time, but it's just not the modern. The analytics don't, the analytics say don't do it. The analytics say no, they're going to hit the free throws, and you're better off trying to play defense. But it is what it is. Lakers and Nuggets coming up. I'm rocking a Laker hoodie right now, but I don't think they're going to win the game, just for the record. And we remember last week we all talked, the Lakers this, and they're going to be cool, they're going to be competitive. You can't beat Denver, man. You can't beat them. Like Denver, they're like a boxer, Denver, where for the first 8 rounds you're trading shots with them, and you're like, man, we're in this thing, man. And then like the last 3-4 rounds, they just start like combo, body shot, headshot, body shot, headshot. Next thing you know, you're all dazed, and you're like, man, weren't we in this thing? Yeah, you kind of are. That's what Denver does. Like, so the Lakers will hang around. I can't even take the Lakers plus the points in this game. I parlayed the Denver Nuggets on the money line with the Edmonton Oilers. It's plus 117. Get a little plus money, plus action. Going to also play the Edmonton Oilers, and I'm probably just going to lay the damn 7 with the Nuggets. Like I said, the Lakers can hang around, but that is hanging around. Like, that's what they do. Like, you know what I mean? You hang around with the Nuggets, and if they're favored by 8, they win by 10. If they're favored by 7, they're going to win by 9. This is what they do. and I'm not getting in front of it. That's just my feel right now. George Kurtz is going to step up and in. And George Kurtz, everybody's stressed out tonight. George is always stressed, all right? Yankees could win the World Series and he'd complain. The parade wasn't very good. The Islanders are up 3-2 on the Carolina Hurricanes right now with about 6 minutes left. So there's a stress job going on in the Kurtz household. Kurtz will step up and in from Long Island a little bit later on and join us. Cam Stewart's Toronto Maple Leafs. That was a stress job, especially after the debacle and the embarrassment that was game one for the Leafs. The season was on the line. The series is on the line for them tonight. They needed to win the hockey game. The Toronto Maple Leafs did win the hockey game. The Vegas Golden Knights are up 1-0 right now on the Dallas Stars. We're about 8 minutes into this hockey game, and the Kings and Oilers haven't started yet, as we stated. So you got a total of 5.5 in the Kings and the Oilers game. Might be a little light. Like, I get that it's a playoff game, but it is the Edmonton Oilers we're talking about here. I doubt it's a 2-1 hockey game, right? You're talking about the Oilers, but the Oilers have been better. This is why the Oilers are actually a legitimate threat, because they do play some defense. They can play some defense right now. We were at the Vancouver Canuck Nashville Predator game last night. Absolutely electric atmosphere in the arena in Vancouver. It really surprised me, to be honest. Like, that was the rowdiest hockey crowd I've ever been in my life. And I'm from Montreal. Like, that's saying something. Like, I've been in the building when Stanley Cups have been awarded and stuff like that. It was just like those fans, man. Like, they brought it. like the second you walked into the arena, there was just this sort of like intensity and electricity of, we're not effing losing. We're going to do whatever it takes to win. We're going to will this home. Like, it was intense, man. Like, shout out to Canuck fans. You guys, like, really rocked. I've been to a lot of Canuck games, and, it's the West Coast. It's different, right? There's a different sort of vibe on the West Coast, like, when it comes to sports than the East Coast. But Canuck fans, they're pretty crazy. Like, remember when the Canucks sucked, like 4 years ago and stuff, 3-4 years ago? Remember, people were throwing beers at them on the ice. People were throwing their jerseys on the ice at them. People were mouthing off at them, like in the parking lot. Like, it surprised me how hostile Vancouver Canuck fans can get. They can get pretty hostile. And as we saw back, they decided to burn the city down when they lost the Stanley Cup. So they can get hostile. But it was pretty crazy. Like, I walked out of the arena after and just like, they're all kids too. That's what's cool. Like, I like the Leaf games where it's all like just rich people and stuff. The Canucks were actually like teenagers and drunk dudes, and like, it's actually more of a common man fan at the game. I walk outside, you know what they were chanting? We want the cup. They took over the streets. We want the cup. I'm thinking, oh my God, it's only game one of the first round, and it's this lit and this charged. Even the cops were like, whoa, this is like, it was a good time. There was no one was doing anything crazy or like that, but it's really, 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 really going to build up in the city of Vancouver, man, if they can keep this thing rolling. The New York Knicks, they were down by 4 when we started the show, 101-96. They've just taken a 102-101 lead. There's about 12 seconds left. Big time. This is a big-time game, man. Massive difference between 2-0 and 1-1. So Cam Stewart's going to step up, and then we'll talk pucks. We'll get his picks for the Edmonton-LA game. 2-0 for the Vegas Golden Knights right now. Dallas Stars already down a 2 spot. In-game total is 6.5. The Dallas Stars now pay plus 250 if you think they're going to come back and win this game. And you're getting a puck and a half at plus 100, which you got to believe that the Stars will get back in this hockey game. So I think the plus 1.5 at plus 100 could be in play here. Last night, too, we really smoked it, and it was real more luck than anything. Well, it was gut feel. My gut was right. If you guys saw my video before the hockey game, I said, you know what? It feels like nobody knows who Dakota Joshua is, really. He's actually like he's kind of like the perfect player for the playoffs for the Canucks. He was plus 350 to score a goal. I was like, This guy's going to bang one in the slot. He's going to bang it. He'll just like go off his skate or something weird will happen. I got a feeling he's going to score. And I had a feeling it was a Brock Besser night as well. You need your best players to step up in the postseason. And it's not, this isn't flashy or anything like that, but I do think Connor McDavid's going to score. I think Connor McDavid's going to score tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. I expect him to step up. The Oilers are a lot like all these other Canadian teams when they get to the playoffs. They lose game one often. Now, the Winnipeg Jets didn't, and the Canucks managed to avoid it, but like the Leafs are 2-7 in their last 9 game ones. And we all know, looking back, the Edmonton Oilers always find themselves. They're down this. They always make it hard for themselves. Let's see if they can step up tonight and nail down game one, which is going to be a wild-ass building in Edmonton this evening. But it backfires on them most of the time. Their building's always wild, but they're not very good at home in the playoffs, the Edmonton Oilers. But I think tonight is different. We laid minus 170. I'm seeing minus 185 right now. Are you kidding me? Really? It's getting crazy. Up to minus 185. So we parlayed it with the Denver Nuggets on the money line, plus 116, plus 117. And we also played we laid the 70 cents with the Edmonton Oilers as well. I think I'll get a piece of Connor McDavid to score. And what a wild basketball game at the Garden as the Knicks have come all the way back to win the game. 104-101. And get this, the total was 204, baby, and it goes over by a point, so we win. Cash it. Joel Embiid just took a 3 at the buzzer that nearly went in. He kind of bombed it from near half court. It nearly just went in, man. Wow. This is Sports Rage. Bring it.
Talked about the Ohtani story. This interpreter, Ipe, clearly was a problem gambler. I mean, he would be identified as that and beyond. Now, there are a lot of others that are out there.
The timing didn't seem great. It seemed slightly tone deaf in terms of, maybe now isn't the time to say it. But the sentiment itself, you have to agree with. There's only so much a sports betting company can do, right?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Throwbacks in white have now become the main uniforms in black and green as well. 4-game green.
Your contracts will be higher in 5 years because the ratings will be through the roof, people. Listen to me. Play games at 7 o'clock. Get more ratings. Make more money. It's simple, but somehow they're imbeciles that make this playoff schedule. I can't figure it out.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's when he swung it easy at 3-quarter golf swings, and he pretty much hit his number all the time. Dude, but when he hit something full, he hit it 20 yards over the greens at times. He's like, what are you doing?
He's just smiley, happy, and a freakish athlete golf robot that's going to be right there winning majors for the next 10-plus years. It's amazing.
Did you say he was smiling or smiley?
Only on SportsGrid.
They're still the best. They're still the champs. Everyone wants to crown the Celtics the champions, but that's not the way it works. They got to beat them. And, they got to get through the East, which isn't going to be fun to begin with. Everyone thinks it's so automatic.
If it's just Boris is kind of losing his power, if whatever his tactics have been, move on.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
What in the Carolina Hurricanes pulled the goalie with 2:28 left, or a little more than 2:28 left. They scored a goal before they could even announce the goal scored. They just scored again. They flicked the puck into the zone like they won what the hell was Varlamov doing? What the hell are you all doing? I can't believe it. They're done. You blew a 3-0 lead. You allowed them to tie it, and you get scored off the face-off. like the Canes literally just flicked the puck behind the net. Varlamov was just like in nowhere's land, and Buddy just wrapped it around and said, all right, thanks for the goal. Thank you. They couldn't even announce the third goal. The Caniacs are going crazy. George Kurtz. I wish we had a live camera at George Kurtz's compound right now. And looking at Cam's face, I think he looks like Kurtz does. To be honest,
you're like 1.5. I just told Joe overtime, and then they scored again. I feel like Kurtz. But anyway, I'm happy with the Leafs, so I'll take it.
You can't win them all.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take a Leafs win. Sorry, Kurtz.
I'm on the Carolina Hurricanes parlayed with the Denver Nuggets. Then I just went and hit the Nuggets again, so the Nuggets better win because I didn't think Carolina was going to come back, Joe. Who are you on in this game? I got Carolina in parlays.
Those is plus +1.5, so they're covered.
Well,
I will think for the.
We've got an audio. We've got an audio issue with Joe. If we could correct that. Yeah, what a collapse, Cam. Like that's like
they were up 3-0 game, cruising. Then they let that 3-1 goal. That was the thing. Once Carolina had that 3-1 goal, they're like, I think we can come back against this team. But I didn't see this. I saw overtime. Like maybe losing in overtime, but the fact they gave up another, oh God. Now they're gonna go. Geez. I don't know what to say.
Now they pulled their goalie.
Yep, this is a problem.
Now the Islanders have the extra attacker. Dude, Patrick Waugh, like I thought he was going to break his foot. He kicked the boards on Saturday after they lost the first game. Like he was mad. Like after he was. Oh my God!
Who scored?
Dude, look what the Islanders just did. Oh my God!
Did they score? Tell me,
dude. They nearly scored on themselves.
Oh, God,
Buddy like nearly lost the puck. It bounced and nearly went in. Like this is, I've never seen like they're. I don't know if it's bad luck. They're cursed. Like, what the hell it is? Oh, here it is. Here's going to be an empty netter.
Yep. There it is.
5-3.
What a collapse.
It goes from 3-2 with 2 minutes left, Cam, to 5-3, buddy.
You know what the best
I've never seen this. That's insane.
You know what the best is, Morency? I won my money line play because they were up 3 goals, but I lose my puck line. My puck line parlay.
Yeah. Puck line loses.
I go with Edmonton as I got Islanders, Leafs, and they counted it as a winner. So I'm so lucky, but my +1.5 is done. Wow, what a disaster. Dude, Kurtz is going to rage. You said it, man. I don't know what's going on there, but oh, geez.
Look at this, buddy, nearly. Dude, and remember what I said? Oh my God, Riley nearly scored on his own net.
Yep.
And they got the puck out of their zone after though, but then it ended up going back on the other end. Carolina, that's what I said, Cam. These teams, man, Carolina are really good with empty nets. I noticed this. Like they're big dudes. They push you off the puck, boom, and they just they're like I'm scoring. I'm scoring in this empty net.
They love extra stats. Dallas had a goal taken away too.
That was
a
Gensel that did it.
That was a big momentum changer game. I know you're watching the Carolina game. I got Vegas and Dallas on here, and it was 1-1, and they took it away, and then Vegas scored right away, so they're up 2-0 now too. So a lot of crazy things happening in these games so far, man. I expect fireworks with Edmonton. Great playoffs so far.
And there's been there's little shenanigans after the Islanders getting frustrated. Yeah. So they're down by 2 pucks right now, and this series is basically a wrap. I mean, the Islanders aren't coming back from 2 games to none. No. Tough. Like, we kind of knew this is the way it was going to go, though, in this series. They're going to play their hearts out. They were going to be in it. They were going to be close, and they're going to end up falling short. That should have been a penalty on Nelson for slashing after.
If they would have won this game, though, think about it. They split. They find a way not to gag. They go back home to that arena now that was pretty lit when I went there, and they really get like that. This is
1-1 to cut out a series. Now it's like this.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, this is everything. So like they can't come back against Carolina down 2-0. It's just basically.
Well, they can play with them. They've shown that they can play with them. We know that. But it's sort of like I said with the Lakers and the Nuggets. Like you can play with them, but you end up losing in the end anyways, right? That's the sort of thing with frustrating for the Islanders. Like I can't imagine the frustration on that bench right now. Of that collapse. You're up 3-0 and just a complete collapse. Complete. Like 3 goals, man, in the last 2 minutes of a game.
Yeah.
Like how
Well, that's the thing. You tie it up, and then you score like seconds afterwards. It's like Nashville. You were at the game. Canucks scored 2 goals in 12 seconds. You got to stay awake in the whole game. This is the NHL playoffs. You can't take your mind off anything for any amount of time. This is crazy hockey, man. Like you saw the Jets game with Colorado. That game was bananas. 13 goals? Like, are you?
Yeah.
What? Like,
there is
different.
a lesson for these teams that I think that is true to tell them, guys, after a goal is scored, man, you got to lock right in again.
Yes.
Like we're seeing it time and time again, man. Like you're rattled, the other team scores. Next thing you know, they score again. You know it's what happened in Nashville yesterday, too. They were like, son of a bitch. And then boom, same thing. Yep. Vancouver scores before they can announce the first goal that was scored. We've seen that a couple of times now. So 5-3, 39 seconds left. I think we've got Joe Madden back. What a wild final couple of minutes of this game, Joe. It was 3-2 when you joined us. Now it's 5-3.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't want me to cover that puck line tonight. I can't believe the Islanders went down by 2 goals in this one. They had this game that first period 2-0. Going into the second, they were playing so strong. You guys are right. They really need to turn things around. I don't know if they're going to be able to, though, now. The Carolina Hurricanes back in New York. I don't know. They could sweep this series.
Patrick Waugh looks like he has tears in his eyes almost. I'm telling you, he's standing there. He looks like they just lost the cup. He's just staring at the clock in shock of what's happened. All right, we'll wrap this game up and hit the other ones on the other side. Let's roll.
Talked about the Ohtani story. This interpreter, Ipe, clearly was a problem gambler. I mean, he would be identified as that and beyond. Now, there are a lot of others that are out there.
The timing didn't seem great. It seemed slightly tone deaf in terms of, maybe now isn't the time to say it. But the sentiment itself, you have to agree with. There's only so much a sports betting company can do, right?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Throwbacks in white have now become the main uniforms in black and green as well. 4-game green.
Your contracts will be higher in 5 years because the ratings will be through the roof, people. Listen to me. Play games at 7 o'clock. Get more ratings. Make more money. It's simple, but somehow they're imbeciles that make this playoff schedule. I can't figure it out.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's when he swung it easy at 3-quarter golf swings, and he pretty much hit his number all the time. Dude, but when he hit something full, he hit it 20 yards over the greens at times. He was like, what are you doing?
He's just smiley, happy, and a freakish athlete golf robot that's going to be right there winning majors for the next 10-plus years. It's amazing.
Did you say he was smiling or smiley?
Only on SportsGrid.
They're still the best. They're still the champs. Everyone wants to crown the Celtics the champions, but that's not the way it works. They got to beat them. And, they got to get through the East, which isn't going to be fun to begin with. Everyone thinks it's so automatic.
If it's just Boris is kind of losing his power, if whatever his tactics have been, move on.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The Stanley Cup playoffs have begun and living up to the hype so far. We're just 1 and 2 games into the series, and the intensity is already sky high. So the LA Kings and the Edmonton Oilers have dropped the puck. LA have had a couple of early scoring chances, actually. One right in front of the slot. It was a nice save by Skinner. They've got 2 shots on goal. Edmonton don't have a shot on goal yet. We've just played like a minute and a half of the game. There's all kinds of action going on here tonight. We could pick which game you want to focus in on. The Dallas Stars have gotten on the scoreboard for real this time. 2-1. They're plus 150 on the money line right now, and they're still plus 1.5, minus 180. And Vegas minus a puck and a half, plus 145. The in-game total is 7.5. And, Joe, I did not expect I was on Winnipeg, but I was also on the under 6.5 on the alt line. I lost that in the first period. And I did not expect that game to turn into the track meet that it did. What do you think of this Vegas-Dallas game? The in-game total is 7.5 right now. I don't think it's going to turn into a track meet either. I think that, there's a bunch of quick goals here. I think it slows down. I'm looking at the under 7.5, but it's minus 170. What do you think about the total here?
Yeah, so juicy to that under 7.5. But I do think this is another game where you've got great goaltending and defenses. And I do think in the second and third period, we will see that lockdown. I was completely blown away as well with the Winnipeg Jets and the Colorado Avalanche, especially with Winnipeg able to win that one. I thought if that one got into a track meet, it would be the Avs who came out on top. So impressive to see the Jets be able to close that one out. But this game tonight, I'm looking for it to stay under that 7.5. The juice just dropped to minus 146, so more manageable there. I grabbed Dallas when they were down 2-0 at plus 290. I think they have every opportunity of winning this one tonight versus the Vegas Golden Knights, so they need this win here at home.
You're getting a better number to me. I just played, but it fell. You're right. I got 160. So I played it under 7.5, minus 160, under 7.5. I'm already on Dallas to win the game. So I'm not going to start chasing too much. I can still jump in at the puck and a half, actually. Except, oh, God, that's just great. Vegas just scored.
Oh, yeah. They scored already? I'm just seeing the guy go to the box. Wow, laser focus here. I told you, I don't like the under in this game. I like goals. I see like 6-4 or something, man. This game's going to get stupid, just like that Avalanche game. And the Edmonton game's going to stay under. Opposite world.
Oh, man. Look at the goaltending.
Man,
Dallas haven't been as good defensively this year. They do find
you saw that, Morency. Oh my God, that was horrible. You got lightning speed internet, man. Crispy. Yeah, they scored like 2 seconds into the power play, right off the draw. Bang bang. Brutal.
Wow.
Well,
now the in-game total is 8.5.
Exactly.
Now it's 8.5.
Yeah, keep on clicking. I got to be honest with you.
Now, right?
I got to be honest with you. Ottinger, like, he hasn't had a good year. Everyone's talking about it. Like, that's on him. That's on him. That's a light, easy shot. It got deflected, but like, he's out of position. I don't know what's going on with Dallas. They just look very sloppy right now. Vegas, hey man, I don't know. This game's got goals.
If the USA national team was now, he wouldn't be the goalie, Ottinger. You would figure that he would have been in a mix, but he wouldn't be. It'd be like, you know what? You're not. Demko's better than you are now. He's American.
Hellebuck.
And Hellebuck, although I thought Hellebuck was pretty bad yesterday.
That just was a wild game, and he kind of got like it was just that game just got stupid. Like Hellebuck's
just like the first goal of the game, though. Sort of the guy coming in from the slot, like, bro, you're the star goalie. He beat you 1-on-1. You got beat 1-on-1, top shelf. Like that can't happen. Like if you're the star goalie, you got to stop that, right? But it turned into this crazy game. But like you said, I mean, opposites happen. It's the playoffs. You're going to end up in these crazy games, high scoring you don't expect, and you're going to end up playing in a nothing game or something like that too.
Dallas just scored. I tell you not to take the under, baby.
Well, it's too late. I'm already dead.
Oh, no, I told you it's going to get nuts, Morency, nuts.
I wanted to take them plus 1.5 just a second ago at plus 115.
I was going to click them again when they were down 2. I should have done it. Anyway, here we go.
Let's see what they do now. And plus, it'll probably be like minus 170 again.
Oh, this game is going to get crazy.
Stupid.
9.5.
Yeah. Real stupid.
Wow. Can we get 10 goals? That's a plus 136.
6-4 final. Joe, it seems very real to me right now. I would not be. Hey,
happened yesterday. Lakers are doing their thing up by 10 early.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, they did this the other day. It's just rinse and repeat. Should have taken them in the first half. Then Denver will come back, you know?
Yeah.
We talked about the Otani story. This interpreter, Ipe, clearly was a problem gambler. I mean, he would be identified as that and beyond. Now, there are a lot of others that are out there.
The timing didn't seem great. It seemed slightly tone deaf in terms of, maybe now isn't the time to say it, but the sentiment itself, you have to agree with. There's only so much a sports betting company can do, right?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Throwbacks in white have now become the main uniforms in black and green as well for Game Green.
Your contracts will be higher in 5 years because the ratings will be through the roof, people. Listen to me. Play games at 7 o'clock. Get more ratings. Make more money. It's simple, but somehow they're imbeciles that make this playoff schedule. I can't figure it out.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's when he swung it easy at three-quarter golf swings, and he pretty much hit his number all the time. Dude, but when he hit something full, he hit it 20 yards over the greens at times. He was like, what are you doing?
He's just smiley, happy, and a freakish athlete golf robot that's going to be right there winning majors for the next 10-plus years. It's amazing.
Did you say he was smiling or smiley?
Only on SportsGrid.
They're still the best. They're still the champs. Everyone wants to crown the Celtics the champions, but that's not the way it works. They got to beat them. And, they got to get through the East, which isn't going to be fun to begin with. Everyone thinks it's so automatic.
If it's just Boris is kind of losing his power, if whatever his tactics have been, yeah, move on.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. Wild night tonight from Monday night. We've all been waiting for this time of the year, and the time of the year is here. Let's roll. So it's the Maple Leafs won 3-2. The Vegas Golden Knights are up 3-2. The Islanders blew a 3-0 lead tonight and ended up losing. They were up 3-2 with 2 minutes left. They gave up 3 consecutive goals. They ended up losing that game. And, as I switched the channel briefly for a second, we've got a goal. We've got a goal. We've got a goal.
Edmonton?
Oh, it's your boy.
Who scored it?
Zach Hyman.
Yes, I bet Zach Hyman first goal, plus 650.
Nice.
You're damn right.
I just
love
want to make
Hyman.
sure it was him. Yeah, it was.
Give me Hyman. Yeah, I love you, Hyman. He's always been a friend. I love Zach Hyman so much. Thank you. I had 2 bets. Anytime goal scorer, first goal scorer. Hyman. That kid. On
Great
Passover,
way to start a
too.
game, Cam.
Way to go, Hyman. You're the man.
Is it Passover?
Yeah, pass over my money. Sportsbook.
Pass over my money. That's good.
Love it.
Morency. Oh, that was great. Thank you. Thank you. Good news. That's great news.
1-0 Edmonton. All right, so same thing, Edmonton. See, we're feeling a different vibe for these Canadian teams, Joe, this year.
Yeah.
Normally, they all lose all the time. Game 1, there's always anger right away. So, like Cam's Leafs the other night. That was bad.
Yeah, that was tough.
Tonight.
Saturday night game was not good. I went to bed just reeling, going, this not again. But things have changed.
Winnipeg gets the W in Game 1. Vancouver gets the W in Game 1. The Leafs are now tied. So far, so good for the Canadian teams. 1-0 for the Edmonton Oilers right now. This total is now 6.5. And the in-game total is 9.5 in the Dallas-Vegas game now. Basketball, 28-22 for the Lakers right now. The Nuggets are laying 3.5 points. The total, 225.5 in this game. What did you do with this game, Joe? Any action on the Lakers and Nuggets? I've got all kinds of Nugget parlays. Too many of them, actually, to be honest. I didn't want. Because I played them with Carolina, and I didn't think Carolina – I gave up on Carolina. So I was like, well, I got to play them again. So, actually, no, I only have 2 parlays. I had the Denver Nuggets money line with Carolina, and I had the Denver Nuggets money line with the Edmonton Oilers. What do you got in this game?
Nice. I took the Lakers plus the points coming into this one, thinking they'd be able to keep this game tight. Didn't know if they would win, thinking probably the Nuggets would get the win, but I did think the Lakers would cover the spread. I stayed off player props for this one, though. I find every time I put a player prop on LeBron James or Anthony Davis, it always bites me. So no props, just the Lakers plus the points.
Cam, did you play the Nuggets game?
I did the exact same parlay you did. I have the Nuggets parlayed with Edmonton, and I also laid 7 with the Nuggets, Gabe.
Listen, they were down by 10 and 12 the other night. They came back and ended up pulling away. Once they go on their run, it's tough to stop in the second half. 28-22 right now. You know, that Oiler-Nugget parlay wasn't bad, though. It was plus 117. At least we were getting some plus money there. All right, so let's take a look at tomorrow night's card. We got a busy night once again tomorrow night, Joe. The Washington Capitals and the New York Rangers. MSG has been rocking, baby. The Knicks won, the Rangers won, and the Knicks won. They're cashing it in. They're ringing that cash register up at MSG. 3 days in a row, winners. Now they get the Capitals again. Minus 280, though. Big price tomorrow night. What are you doing with this hockey game, Joe?
Yeah, huge price tomorrow night. And for the Washington Capitals, they weren't able to convert on the power play. They had 4 opportunities in the last game and weren't able to convert on any of them. But the Rangers weren't able to convert on their 2 opportunities either. They were the more physical team. They got like 31 hits on the Caps. I want to say this one's going to be tight, but I'm just not sure if the Capitals can score in this game. So I'm going to take the under 5.5 in this one. I'm hoping the Rangers don't come out and put up 6 goals themselves.
Cam, what do you think about game 2 of this series?
I think the Rangers are going to win by 2 or more. I'll lay the puck line. I kind of agree with Joe. I think they can win like a 4-1 type of game. Sounds like the perfect score to me. I like the Rangers. I don't think the Capitals could play the Rangers game, and the Rangers have toughness now. So if they want to muck it up, the Rangers are like, sure, bring it on. Like they're better in every area.
Yeah, I think the Rangers win the game as well. They probably win by 2 or more. Get an empty netter or something like that. And I think Washington can win 1 game at home, right?
Agreed.
But it's probably a 5-game series. I thought that Tampa, guys, Joe, I thought Tampa would give Florida all that they could handle and maybe probably just kind of fall short in the end. But, it goes 7. Maybe we go to overtime games. I did like Tampa plus a puck and a half in game 1. And even it is minus 170, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was another 1-goal game. I think it is going to be a real battle once again tomorrow. And I think Tampa could beat them. They're plus 155. But like I said, they're plus minus 170 on the money line as well. Total is 5.5. 3-2 was the score in game 1. What's your take on game 2?
Well, Gabe, like me, you had the puck line in the last game, and thankfully Stamkos able to score that goal with 10 seconds, 8 seconds left to cover that puck line. I do think Lightning have every opportunity to get this win. They were actually more physical than the Florida Panthers in that last game, and I love their drive that they came with. Even though knowing there's only 10 seconds left on the clock, they still pushed to get that extra goal. I'm going to take the over 1.5 in the first period. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Lightning as well, straight up on the money line. I do think this series goes deep and they're able to take it all the way to 7. That 7th game, though, will come down to a coin flip because the Florida Panthers are so phenomenally strong out there on the ice. I just don't think they win 2 in a row.
Cam, what do you think of Henrique has just scored for the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, wow.
The party has begun in Edmonton. 2-0. 10 minutes, 9.5 minutes in only. There's 10:24 left still in the first period. Wheels are falling off for the Kings.
Let's do this. We got a round-robin parlay. I'm going to ride the Lightning Metallica style plus 146, and we'll put some plus 1.5s and some parlays. Also, over 5.5. I think we can get 6 goals tomorrow, guys. Let's rock.
Yeah, I was surprised it was low. It was lower scoring than you would have thought. Game 1. So they set a 5.5. They put a 6 up for Colorado and Winnipeg tomorrow. The game is a pick'em, Joe. You saying 6.5? I see a 6 here.
On FanDuel, 6.5, and it's plus money to the over. Yes, plus
Weird.
105.
I see a minus 126 to the over too. It's all over the place. So listen, game 1 got stupid, and there was a 7-3. So game 1 got stupid. I don't know if the Jets, it seems like to me like the Jets are kind of getting disrespected. Why would the Jets be the pick 'em? They're the better team. They're at home. They just won game one, yet it's only minus 110, Joe. I look at this. I think the Jets are being disrespected here.
Oh, majorly disrespected. I think it's the Jets at home you got to ride with again in this one. I think they have to slow this game down, though, and play more defensive style game. Do you think you guys will see Boussois come in instead of Hellebuck? I wasn't impressed with Hellebuck in that last game either. I think maybe they should give Boussois a chance.
Here's the deal, Joe. We cannot do that to Hellebuck because it was just a crazy game. But conversely, Georgiev, that guy's hanging on by a thread. If that if Colorado's backups there, like they should have pulled him in that game. Bednar looked at it like he was brutal. And I'll tell you something, that's going to be Colorado's problem moving forward. And their backup is he used to play for the Manitoba Moose. And I'm going to tell you, that's the guy. Like Hellebuck's one of those guys. We got to ride him out because he's number one. That's an anomaly, Gabe. But I think Georgiev, who cares? They have to do something. If he's weak again, short leash. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right with Colorado. Colorado need to score goals, otherwise they can't win. With the goaltending they have, it's hard to win playoff games if we're gonna have to score 4 goals, right? 4 or 5 goals. Normally, 3 is that number that coaches sort of shoot for to get a win in the playoffs, right? It's like the crazy thing, like the Leafs. The Leafs couldn't get to 3. It was the first time they actually scored 3 goals against Boston.
I know.
They always got stuck in 2.
I know.
You need 3 to win, baby. 3. Like the Canucks, 3.
Talked about the Otani story. This interpreter, Ipe, clearly was a problem gambler. I mean, he would be identified as that and beyond. Now, there are a lot of others that are out there.
The timing didn't seem great. It seemed slightly tone deaf in terms of, maybe now isn't the time to say it. But the sentiment itself, you have to agree with. There's only so much a sports betting company can do, right?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Throwbacks in white have now become the main uniforms in black and green as well for Game Green.
Your contracts will be higher in 5 years because the ratings will be through the roof, people. Listen to me. Play games at 7 o'clock. Get more ratings. Make more money. It's simple, but somehow they're imbeciles that make this playoff schedule. I can't figure it out.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
It's when he swung it easy at 3/4 golf swings, and he pretty much hit his number all the time. Dude, but when he hit something full, he hit it 20 yards over the greens at times. He's like, what are you doing?
He's just smiley, happy, and a freakish athlete golf robot that's going to be right there winning majors for the next 10-plus years. It's amazing.
Did you say he was smiling or smiley?
Only on SportsGrid.
They're still the best. They're still the champs. Everyone wants to crown the Celtics the champions, but that's not the way it works. They got to beat them. And, they got to get through the East, which isn't going to be fun to begin with. Everyone thinks it's so automatic.
If it's just Boris is kind of losing his power, if whatever his tactics have been, move on.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. The Monday Night Meltdown continues. This is Sports Rage. The Edmonton Oilers up 2-0 on the LA Kings. We've got a good one going on in Dallas, 3-2 right now. After the first period of play, they scored 5 goals in the first period. Wild stuff. In-game totals now 9.5, but minus 190 to the under. Joe Madden and Cam Stewart in the house. George Kurtz will step up and in. George has had a little time to absorb and let the Islanders' loss settle in.
I don't think he has, Gabe. That was that's heartbreaking what happened to the Islanders tonight. Like that's bad. Three goal lead, and like could come back home tied. Like that's a collapse. Like he's going to be mentally fatigued tonight. Like we got to be nice to George. We got to treat him well.
And Aaron Boone got kicked out of a game today because the umpire thought it was a fan. A fan was mouthing off to the umpire. The umpire thought it was Boone.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and the umpire doubled down on it. He goes, "Oh yeah, but no, it was a fan. Boone didn't do anything." You see that?
No. Boone came out and said, "Yeah." I said, "I didn't say anything. The fan said something." He goes, "That guy there is the one talking to you, not me." And the ump tried to save face. Said, "Yeah." He goes, "No, I know about the fan," but he said, when somebody else in your dugout said something to me, and he said, you're responsible for your dugout, so I kicked you out. Which that's not true. Like this umpire should get in trouble for that. Like if a player is sitting in the dugout and mouths off to the umpire, you can't kick the manager out for that.
Exactly.
You kick the player out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't say the umpire said, and umpire really like dug all his hole in this, because he even said people pay to see the players, so I didn't want to kick the players out. They were talking, so I kicked him out. So you can't just arbitrarily kick the manager out, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just arbitrarily, I'm just going to kick you out because I don't like this. It's like, no, he didn't say anything to you. You can't kick him out. Like I would have a problem with this. The umpiring in Major League Baseball is bad to begin with. Like Angel Hernandez is a clown. He's not the only one. There's been a lot of really, really, really bad calls, man, at home plate with pitchers, with pitches, strike balls and strikes lately. And they're getting into it with them. Like the umps are they're confrontational nowadays, these umpires. Like so it's a problem. You know, it is. The umpiring really is a problem in baseball now. Where I think it's the relationships are bad. Like the players don't like the umpires don't like the players. Like there used to be sort of a wink, like wrestling agreement, right? You know, like Tommy Lasorda will come out and kick some dirt and yell and stuff, but it's all part of the shtick. And like the umpires had more personality. They get really, really, like I said, like the guy it wouldn't kill you if you're the umpire. Just say, you know what? I screwed up, man. I thought it was him. It was a fan. I apologize to him. I made a mistake. Instead, the bench was mouthing off, and, I decided. It's like, dude, like, it's not your job, like, to play arbitrary, kick people out. Just call balls and strikes. That's your job.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm walking down the street, and I stab somebody, and you're my buddy, and the cop knows you from before and blames you for the crime, even though I did it. That doesn't seem very right. Like, but that was an extreme case. But I'm saying that's the example. Like,
Don't walk inside cabins.
Carter McDavid nearly just scored.
No, I never do anything like that. But Gabe's right. Like you can't blame other people's actions and blame another person's. This guy should be reprimanded. I'm with you, Morency, 100%. I think it's being understated because now you're just going to give umpires free will to do stuff like that. It's wrong.
There doesn't seem to be any sort of ever ramifications for umpires in baseball.
Yep, correct.
Like it seems like the Major League Baseball doesn't have control over their umpiring crew.
Yeah,
like, I don't know how they punish them. Like they don't, because they're a union, right? So they run, like basically the umpires run themselves. So like the umpires say, we'll look into this. Yeah, but it's sort of like the cops investigating themselves. Right? Like, it's not like Rob Manfred can step in and say, oh, you know what? I'm going to suspend you or I'm going to do this to you as an umpire. They don't have any control over them. Like, they really don't. It's like the umpires just do what they want to do, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you can't get rid of them once they're in. Look at Angel Hernandez. He's terrible. Like, he's terrible, terrible, terrible. He can't do his job, and they can't get rid of him because he hasn't done anything to get fired. Like, you'd have to do, like, a code of conduct. Like, they can get fired if you bet on the games or, like, you killed somebody or something. You know what I mean? But, like, once you're in.
When you watch him, Gabe, we could put a tape together of things that are so egregious that, like, there's no way he should be on a baseball field. It's so obvious and stupid now. It's wrong. Like, it's simply.
But the only thing that they do is you'll notice he's never gotten a World Series game before.
You never will again.
And he he sued them. He had the audacity to sue. He says it's discriminatory because he's Cuban.
Yeah, sure.
That's why he doesn't get a World Series game. It's like, no, you don't get a World Series game because everyone knows you suck. We can't fire you, but we're not going to give you a World Series game, bro. Like, you're going to ruin the World Series.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to ruin it. Like, we know this. So, no. All right, so not much going on here in this Laker game. Low flow. It's 33-28 right now for the Lakers. In-game total down to 217.5. All right, so let's get back to Tuesday's hockey card. So, yeah, as I was saying, guys, when we went to the break, we have a new clock here. I think the Winnipeg Jets are being disrespected. Cam, give me the Jets tomorrow to beat them again.
I think I'm going to go take the Jets as well. Pick 'em price seems weird, but I will also going to go back 6.5. On my book, it's 6.5. I'm going to have to go under. Like, that was an anomaly, that game, I think, with that. And I think the Jets can win like a 4-2 game at most. Like, I don't think they can get 7 goals again, but who knows? Colorado's goaltending reeks, but I'll take the Jets for sure.
Joe, you on the Jets tomorrow as well?
Yeah, right in the Jets all the way. And I'm with Cam on the under 6.5 as well. The Jets have to tighten up on the defensive side.
And the Vancouver Canucks. The Canucks were minus 150 favorites in game 1. Now, game 2, they're minus 165. It's a little bit higher. This total is 5.5, minus 110 on both sides here. We'll hit this on the other side. Big game. Like, winning game 1 is all right and stuff, but if you really want to take control of these series, you got to hold serve. Win both games at home. Go back to Nashville up 2 games to none.
Talked about the Otani story. This interpreter, Ipe, clearly was a problem gambler. I mean, he would be identified as that and beyond. Now, there are a lot of others that are out there.
The timing didn't seem great. It seemed slightly tone deaf in terms of, maybe now isn't the time to say it. But the sentiment itself, you have to agree with. There's only so much a sports betting company can do, right?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Throwbacks in white have now become the main uniforms in black and green as well for Game Green.
Your contracts will be higher in 5 years because the ratings will be through the roof, people. Listen to me. Play games at 7 o'clock. Get more ratings. Make more money. It's simple, but somehow they're imbeciles that make this playoff schedule. I can't figure it out.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's when he swung it easy at 3/4 golf swings, and he pretty much hit his number all the time. Dude, but when he hit something full, he hit it 20 yards over the greens at times. He's like, what are you doing?
He's just smiley, happy, and a freakish athlete golf robot that's going to be right there winning majors for the next 10-plus years. It's amazing.
Did you say he was smiling or smiley?
Only on SportsGrid.
They're still the best. They're still the champs. Everyone wants to crown the Celtics the champions, but that's not the way it works. They got to beat them. And, they got to get through the East, which isn't going to be fun to begin with. Everyone thinks it's so automatic.
If it's just Boris is kind of losing his power, if whatever his tactics have been, yeah, move on.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. The Monday Night Meltdown continues on the SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM, Channel 159. So, Joe, we'll get you out of here in a couple of minutes. What do you think about the Nashville and Vancouver game? Game 2, Tuesday night in Vancouver.
I'm excited for this one, and I do think the Vancouver Canucks can come out nice and strong and get another win here. I'm taking them over for their team total 3.5. You're actually getting plus money there at plus 130. I do see them scoring 4 goals again on Saros. I think they can come out so strong offensively. I don't know, though, with the Predators that they're going to be able to get those goals on Demko, so I'm staying off the full game total, just going to look there at the Vancouver Canucks to be able to get that win and winning it by getting those 4 goals.
What do you think, Cam?
Oh, Gabe, I'm going to make a bet this game goes to overtime. I think it's going to be a real tight one, a real squeezer.
People in Vancouver can't handle that, Cam. They don't know overtime. That'll be a lot of pressure.
Hey, don't worry about it. You guys are West
stress.
Coasters. Everybody's chill. Just have a smoke and relax and win 3-2 in overtime. I think Vancouver wins 3-2 in overtime.
We haven't had an overtime game yet.
This is going to be the first one. Canucks.
Pretty
and
crazy.
Preds. My prediction.
I bet the first 2 to go to overtime on that Saturday and gave up on it. I'm like, I can't lose money on doing this.
No.
Because I took Tampa to go to overtime. I took the Leaf game to go to overtime. I'm like, wow, that didn't work. So
This experiment's not going well. So where would you be? How many games have we played right now? Like 7? Like, that's the thing. After a while, you're like,
it hasn't won yet.
Problems.
So in other words, it's a good point, though, Cam. Tomorrow is due. Or even tonight. Did Dallas and Vegas end up in overtime?
They could, 100%.
If Dallas scores the next goal. If not, they're done.
If Dallas can stop letting Vegas score all the time.
That would be a good recipe for overtime.
It's like, guys, we're scoring, but every time we score, they score right after us. It doesn't help. Like,
No, it doesn't.
You need to stop and stop and score, basketball style. One thing I'll say about the Canucks tomorrow, guys, last night, they weren't nervous earlier or anything like that. I could tell. Like they were really crisp, actually. Like tape-to-tape passes, they were hitting. Both teams were sharp early in the hockey game last night. But Nashville ended up getting the first goal. I think Vancouver are going to be more focused tomorrow night on scoring first. I think that's it's going to be like, okay, we won, guys, but you know what? Let's not be trailing this time. Like, you know what I mean? Let's get this building into it early, get an early goal, put Nashville on their heels right away. And if you're Nashville here too, at some point it's going to start to bother them and get in their heads a bit. Not yet, but we're getting there where they got swept this year by Vancouver. Now they just lost game 1. Now this is 4 games in a row you've lost to the same team. They're aware of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're going to start to get frustrated. So if you're Vancouver, if you can get a lead on them, you can get Nashville to start taking penalties. They're going to start to get angry that they're losing all the time to this team. So massive first period tomorrow. I'm expecting Vancouver I'm going to play them to score first and win the first period tomorrow.
Think about this. If the Leafs didn't win this game, Boston would have been 6-0 against them. So they went 4-0 in the regular season, won the first game in the playoffs. It was a must-win game to get that monkey off
if the Leafs didn't
back.
win tonight, they might have gotten swept.
I was thinking like maybe 5 or I was thinking big trouble. So now we got.
If they would have went back home and then Boston would have scored an early goal, Joe, and game 3 back in Toronto, it would have been like done. Like,
all the people just walk right out of the building. Enough.
It's already quiet to begin with, so now well, now the building will be rocking. They'll be rocking game 3. So yeah, I'm not going to the game tomorrow. I'd like to, but I'm not going to go to every game. And we're on. If Nashville and Vancouver go 7, they would play on the Sunday night, actually. Not this Sunday. They're actually playing this Sunday, but the game 7 would be on a Sunday again. So I would go.
When's game 3? When's game 3? What day is that?
It'll be
tomorrow.
Thursday, isn't it?
Friday.
It's Friday.
Friday.
Okay. Oh, okay.
They get
fun.
an extra day off in between games,
Yeah.
but only once. They're giving them the benefit of the doubt once, like that extra day, because the travel is so much. It's pretty crazy, Joe. You know, the Canucks and Predators travel is more than the entire Eastern Conference combined.
It's far from Vancouver to Nashville. That's for sure.
3,200, 4-hour flight.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing these other teams, a joke and stuff. The Rangers to Washington, New York. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like Boston, Toronto, even. Like, 55-minute flight. You know what I mean? Like, Canucks, 4 hours. So you got to get to the airport, you get to the hotel. It's a real,